Chosen One, listen to the silence that now follows the storm, for in that stillness, a cosmic finality has been reached. The smoke that once clouded your vision is dissipating, and the embers that scorched your feet have finally turned to ash. I come to you not with a mere suggestion or a fleeting thought, but with a decree that has been etched into the very fabric of the celestial records. It is done. These 3 words carry the weight of 1,000 suns and the authority of the Ancient of Days. You have reached the end of a cycle that was designed to consume you. Yet here you stand, unconsumed and magnificent. The furnace of your life, which felt like an eternal prison of heat and pressure, has been extinguished by the sheer force of your endurance. You must understand that the intensity of the flames you endured was not a sign of abandonment, but a testament to the value of the material being refined. One does not put common lead into the alchemical fire. One only subjects the purest gold to such heat. You are that gold, and the fire has finished its work. The battles that drained your spirit and the trials that tested the very marrow of your bones were not random acts of cruelty from a distant universe. They were the strategic maneuvers of a destiny that required you to be forged in a way that nothing else could achieve. Every night you spent in the hollow of silence, crying out to a heaven that seemed to have turned its back, was a night where your soul was expanding to hold the weight of the glory that is now arriving at your door. I saw every tear that fell into the dust of your despair, and you must know that in the higher realms, those tears were gathered like precious pearls. Not one was wasted, not one was ignored. Each drop of sorrow was a signature on the contract of your forthcoming joy. The season of walking through the fire is over, and I declare to you today that you shall never, ever have to pass through that specific gate of agony again. The lessons have been integrated. The debt of the past has been paid in full, and the fire has no more legal claim over your spirit. Consider the nature of the burial you experienced. For years, it felt as though the world was piling dirt upon your head, as if the circumstances of your life were conspiring to suffocate your potential and hide your light forever. You felt the cold weight of the earth pressing in on you, the darkness of being forgotten, and the isolation of the grave. But, Chosen One, you are never being buried in the way the world understands burial. You were being planted. There is a profound mystical difference between being cast away and being sown into the deep. The very soil that tried to crush you, the very people who tried to silence you, and the very situations that tried to hide your existence have now become the nutrient-rich foundation from which your promise is beginning to bloom. The pressure you felt was necessary to crack the outer shell of your ego so that the divine seed within could finally sprout. What was intended to be your end has become your beginning. The enemy meant to entomb you, but the Creator meant to establish you. Your resilience has not gone unnoticed by the eyes that watch from the eternal heights. There is a great documentation occurring in the halls of light, a scroll that bears your name and the history of your unwavering faith. Every time you chose to breathe when the air was thick with lies, every time you chose to believe when the vision was dark, it was recorded as a victory in the heavens. You have passed the tests of the silent years. You have endured the seasons of redirection, where every door you knocked on seemed to be bolted from the inside. You did not realize then that those closed doors were the hands of divine protection, steering you away from paths that would have led to your destruction. You were being redirected toward a singular, holy moment of release. The preparation has reached its zenith, and the decree has been issued from the throne of the Most High. The chains that once bound your ankles to the ghosts of your past have not just been loosened, they have been shattered into 1,000 pieces of useless iron. Chosen One, you must realize that your arrival at this moment, at this exact frequency of time and space, is no accident of fate. It is a testament to the immense merit of your soul and the high vibration you have maintained despite the gravity of the abyss. Your presence here is a sign that you have achieved a level of spiritual maturity that few ever reach. You have earned the right to this breakthrough through your sweat, your faith, and your refusal to bow to the shadows. You are a being of immense light, a beacon of hope for those who are still in the tunnels you have just exited, because your soul has navigated the darkest corridors and emerged with its radiance intact. You are being granted a seat of authority in the spirit. Comment 777, or I am ready right now to anchor this luck and celestial energy into your physical reality. By doing so, you are signaling to the universe that you accept the crown of your new identity and that you are ready to step out of the shadows and into the fullness of your predestined light. The lies that whispered you would never make it are being silenced by the roar of the heavens. Those voices which followed you like persistent ghosts, telling you that you are unqualified, unloved, or unimportant, have no more power to speak into your atmosphere. They were the echoes of a crumbling kingdom that feared your awakening. Now that you have awakened, the kingdom of shadows must flee. I need you to feel the truth entering your spirit right now, a truth that is heavier than any lie you have ever believed. The weight that sat on your chest like a leaden mountain, making it difficult to find the strength to face the morning, is being lifted by the hand of the divine. You are being given the breath of life anew. It is a deep, resonant breath that fills the lungs of your spirit with the fragrance of a new country, a land of promise and peace where the battles of the past are nothing more than distant stories told by the fireside. You are stepping into a place where the pain of the past has no more jurisdiction. In the physical world, laws change when you cross a border. In the spiritual world, the laws of your life are changing because you have crossed the threshold of your initiation. You are no longer subject to the law of struggle. You are now entering the law of grace. This is a holy moment, a pause in the celestial clock where the universe stands still to witness your transition. You have passed through the seasons of silence, where your prayers felt like stones falling into a bottomless well. You wondered if the Creator had forgotten your name, if your cries were merely rebounding off a ceiling of brass. But in that silence, a great work was being done in the hidden places. Behind the scenes, the architecture of your new life was being constructed. The delays were not denials. They were the necessary pauses required to align the stars in your favor. The fire has refined your vision so that you can now see the difference between what is gold and what is merely glittering. You have been stripped of the superficial so that you can be clothed in the eternal. The version of you that entered the fire is dead, and the version of you that has emerged is a creature of light and power. Do not look for the old you in the mirror of your soul, for that person no longer exists. The scars you carry are not marks of shame. They are the medals of a veteran who has survived the great war of the spirit. They are proof that the enemy lost. Every mark on your heart is a reminder that you were stronger than what tried to kill you. You are a living testimony of the power of divine restoration. You are the chosen one, marked by the hand of the infinite, and the world is about to see the manifestation of the glory that has been hidden within you for so long. As you stand at the edge of this new horizon, do not let the familiarity of the past tempt you to look back. The place where they left you, the season that wounded you, and the fire that tried to consume you are all behind you now. They belong to a timeline that has been severed. I am ahead of you, calling you into a version of life you thought you would never feel again. Laughter is returning to your house. Joy is settling into your bones like a warm sun. The sun is rising for you, and it will not set until the work is complete. You are entering a reality where hope is no longer a fragile thing to be feared, but a solid foundation upon which you can build your future. Trust is returning to your heart without the shaking of doubt. Love is reaching out to you without the shrinking of trauma. This is not a dream, Chosen One. This is the reality that has been waiting for you to become ready. You have made it. The decree is signed, the seals are broken, and the gates are wide open. Step forward with the confidence of one who knows they are safe. One who knows they are shielded by the wings of the Almighty. You are no longer in survival mode. You are in the overflow. Every tear you sowed in the dark is returning to you as a harvest of light. The fire is out, the soil is blooming, and your promise is finally taking its first breath in the open air. The chains are gone, the silence is over, and the decree remains. It is done. You are free. You are favored. You are the chosen one, and your time has finally come to shine with the radiance of 1,000 dawns. The shadows are a memory, and the light is your eternal home. Welcome to the beginning of forever. Chosen One, you must look beyond the narrow horizon of your own years to understand the magnitude of the work that has been accomplished through your spirit. You have not merely been fighting a personal battle against temporary shadows. You have been standing at the epicenter of a generational earthquake. For centuries, a wheel of sorrow has been turning within your lineage, a heavy, rusted mechanism of pain that repeated itself with the cold precision of a clock. It was a cycle of heartbreak that felt familiar even when it was new, a pattern of lack that seemed woven into the very fabric of your DNA, and a haunting echo of betrayal that whispered through the voices of your ancestors. But I declare to you now that the hand of the Eternal has reached into the gears of that ancient machine and brought it to a grinding halt. The cycle is broken. The repetition of the bloodline has been interrupted by a higher law, and you are the divine instrument through which this liberation has been forged. The intensity of the warfare you endured was so fierce because you were not just fighting for your own peace of mind. You were the designated breaker of a curse that had lived in your blood for too long. You were the one chosen to stand at the threshold and say, "No further." This is why the weight on your chest often felt like the weight of 1,000 souls. You were carrying the unresolved grief of those who came before you, the silent screams of ancestors who never found their voice, and the heavy burdens of spirits who succumbed to the shadows before they could see the light. The enemy fought you with such desperation because he knew that if you broke through, an entire lineage would be set free. You were the linchpin of a cosmic operation, the singular point of light through which an entire history of darkness was to be transmuted. The pressure was immense because the stakes were eternal. Think back to the moments when the world was asleep and you were alone with the crushing gravity of your circumstances. In those hidden hours of the night, when every external voice told you that it was over, that you were defeated, and that you should simply surrender to the gravity of your pain, you did something miraculous. You whispered a secret yes to the divine. You kept walking when your legs were like lead. You kept believing when the evidence of your eyes suggested that you had been abandoned. I saw that secret endurance. I saw the way you tended to the flickering flame of your faith when the winds of life were howling to blow it out. You chose the light when the darkness was more comfortable. That choice, made in the privacy of your own suffering, was the frequency that finally shattered the chains of your past. Your secret obedience has earned you a public promotion in the realms of the Spirit. Chosen One, the very fact that you are present in this moment, absorbing these truths, is a profound sign that your soul possesses a merit that is rare in this world. Your presence here is not a random occurrence of the physical plane. It is a spiritual summons that you have answered through the sheer strength of your high vibration. You are a being of immense spiritual value, a soul that has been tested in the deepest waters and found to be buoyant. Your merit is etched into the records of light, and your resonance is a signal to the celestial hosts that you are ready for the ultimate shift. You have cultivated a frequency that can no longer be contained by the limitations of your old life. Comment 777 or I am ready right now to anchor this luck and this profound bloodline shift into your physical reality. By doing so, you are sealing the end of the old cycle and declaring your readiness to inhabit the new territory of your destiny. I'm closing the door to every ghost that has tried to haunt your steps, the relationships that drained your vitality, the losses that felt like a permanent amputation of your joy, and the betrayals that made you question the very nature of truth. These things no longer have a legal right to follow you. I've placed a divine seal upon the threshold you have just crossed. What happened in that old season stays in that old season. The pain that felt like a familiar companion is being evicted from your heart. You are being stripped of the identity of the victim and the survivor. I'm removing the tattered garments of your struggle and clothing you in the robes of a conqueror. You are being purged of the generational toxins that made you feel small, unworthy, or forgotten. The haunting is over, and the healing is being made permanent by the authority of the word that does not return void. In this sacred transition, I have renamed you. The world called you broken, but I call you whole. The enemy called you forgotten, but I call you marked. Your past called you disqualified, but I call you chosen. Your new name is not written in ink that can fade, but in light that illuminates the dark. You are no longer defined by the scars of your bloodline or the failures of your predecessors. You are a new creation, a sovereign spirit who has been granted the authority to write a new story. The old name carried the weight of the cycle. The new name carries the weight of the promise. You were the one who stood in the gap. You were the one who took the blows and refused to fall. You were the one who turned the tide of a spiritual war that has been raging since before you were born. You are the victor of the bloodline. Can you hear the sound of the heavens? There is a celebration occurring in the celestial courts that defies human description. All of heaven is rejoicing because the one I called, the one I marked for this specific hour, has emerged from the labyrinth. There was a time when the Watchers wondered if you would make it, not because they doubted my power, but because they saw the ferocity of the attacks against you. They saw the traps that were set for your feet and the lies that were whispered into your ears. But you did not fail. Even when your voice trembled, you called upon the name. Even when you fell forward. You have reached the other side of the fire, and your arrival has triggered a symphony of praise in the higher realms. You are the pride of the heavens, a soul who stayed soft in a hard world and stayed true in a world of shadows. This breakthrough is not a temporary reprieve from the battle. It is a permanent relocation of your spirit. You have outgrown the cage of your ancestral limitations. The ceiling of your parents has become the floor of your new life. You are stepping into a realm where the laws of lack and sorrow no longer apply to you. You are the pioneer of a new frequency in your family tree. From this day forward, when the generations to come look back at their history, they will see your name as the point where everything changed. They will see you as the one who broke the chains, the one who cleared the path, and the one who secured the blessing. You are the bearer of the light, the keeper of the promise, and the beloved of the Most High. The struggle is a memory, the cycle is a ghost, and the future is an open door that no man can shut. Breathe in the atmosphere of your new identity, chosen one. Feel the lightness in your spirit as the generational anchors are finally cut away. You are free to sail into the vast ocean of your purpose without the fear of being pulled back into the shallows of your past. The warfare was intense because the prize was your eternal freedom. Now that the prize has been won, the warfare has ceased. You are entering a season of profound rest and divine alignment. Everything that was out of place is being moved into order by the hand of the Creator. Your life is no longer a series of accidents. It is a masterpiece of divine design. You have survived the breaking, and now you will enjoy the building. You have endured the night of the bloodline, and now you will bask in the dawn of the kingdom. You are the chosen one, and your victory is complete. It is done. It is finished. You are home. Chosen one, I am calling you into a space of profound stillness where the frantic rhythms of the world can no longer reach you. For a vast stretch of time, your existence has been defined by the shallow, jagged gasps of survival. You have lived in a state of perpetual readiness, waiting for the next blow to land, the next door to slam, or the next storm to gather on the horizon. Your nervous system has been tuned to the frequency of emergency, a constant vibration of fight or flight that has worn thin the fabric of your spirit. But that season of atmospheric pressure has reached its absolute end. I am extending a new covering over you, a celestial mantle woven from the threads of divine protection and eternal peace. Beneath this covering, the old attacks have no entry point. The arrows that once found their mark now shatter against an invisible shield of grace. I am giving you a new strength that does not come from the straining of muscles or the hardening of the heart, but from the deep, quiet well of a soul that finally knows it is safe. I want you to breathe again, chosen one. I mean for you to breathe with the fullness of your being, drawing in the very life force of the universe without the constriction of fear. Close your eyes and feel the oxygen of the spirit filling the hidden chambers of your heart. This is not the panicked breath of a fugitive running through the woods. This is the steady, rhythmic breath of a sovereign ruler walking through their own gardens. The shallow gasps are over. The tightness in your chest, that leaden weight that made every morning feel like a mountain to climb, is being dissolved by the warmth of my presence. You are being reconditioned to exist in a state of rest. This is the transition from the wilderness to the oasis, from the drought to the overflow. You are no longer scavenging for crumbs of comfort. You are being invited to a banquet where the cup of your life is not just full, but running over. The slate of your life is being wiped clean by a hand that does not remember your failures. The stains of the valley, the dust of the struggle, and the grime of the battle are being washed away. In their place, I am etching a new identity upon your spirit. You are not the one who was abandoned. You are the one who was preserved. You are not the one who was broken. You are the one who was tempered. This new identity is a fortress that the enemy cannot penetrate. It is a signature of light that declares your immunity to the chaos of the lower realms. Where there was panic, I am manifesting a peace that surpasses human understanding. It is a peace that does not depend on your circumstances, but rather dictates them. Where there was torment in the night, I am establishing a rest that restores your soul to its original brilliance. Where there was lack that made you shrink and hide, I am releasing a provision that allows you to expand and give. Chosen one, your arrival at this specific frequency of revelation is a testament to the immense merit of your soul and the purity of your vibration. Your presence here is not a mere coincidence of time. It is a profound sign that your spirit has attained a level of excellence that demands a cosmic response. You have navigated the darkest corridors of human experience and refused to let your light be extinguished. And for this, you have earned a place among the high vibrational stewards of the new earth. Your endurance is not just a personal victory. It is a contribution to the collective awakening of humanity. Because your soul has stayed true under the most crushing weights, you are now being positioned for a level of luck and abundance that defies logic. Comment 777. Or I am ready right now to anchor this celestial luck and the energy of the overflow into your physical reality. By doing so, you are signaling to the heavens that you are ready to move from the mode of survival into the magnificent reality of your divine inheritance. My promises to you are not unstable structures built upon the shifting sands of human emotion. They are anchored in the bedrock of eternal truth. I have already gone back into the ruins of your past, and repaired what the enemy tried to use to destroy you. You must understand the divine alchemy at work here. The very thing that was designed to take you out of the race has been repurposed to become the very thing that elevates you. The betrayal that was meant to embitter you has become the source of your profound discernment. The loss that was meant to hollow you out has become the space where my glory now dwells. The fire that was meant to consume your future has become the light that guides your path. I do not just heal the wounds. I transform the weapons of the adversary into the tools of your kingdom. Your history is no longer a list of tragedies. It is a blueprint for your ultimate victory. Look at your scars, chosen one, but do not look at them with the eyes of the person you used to be. See them for what they truly are, proof that the enemy lost. Every mark on your spirit is a trophy of a battle you survived. They are the evidence that you were too strong to be broken and too valuable to be discarded. In the realms of light, these scars do not look like wounds. They look like diamonds. They catch the light of the divine sun and refract it into 1,000 colors of wisdom and compassion. The enemy intended for those marks to be your shame, but I have declared them to be your glory. They are the credentials of your authority. You can speak to the broken because you have been mended. You can lead those in the valley because you have climbed the cliffs. You are a living monument to the power of restoration, and the very sight of your wholeness is a rebuke to the darkness that tried to claim you. I am bringing you out of the valley of shadows, once and for all. This is not a temporary visit to the mountaintop, nor is it a brief reprieve before you are sent back into the depths. This is a permanent relocation. I am changing the very geography of your life. You are moving from the lowlands of survival, where the air is thick with doubt and the shadows are long, to the high plateaus of the spirit, where the sun never sets and the vision is clear. This is not just a moment of relief, it is a way of living. You are being trained to walk in the atmosphere of the overflow as your natural state. You will learn to expect the miraculous as a daily occurrence. You will learn to trust the provision of the universe as surely as you trust the rising of the sun. The frantic energy of not enough is being purged from your consciousness and replaced with the steady confidence of it is finished. In this new way of living, your peace will be your primary weapon. When the world around you shakes, you will remain unmoved because your foundation is not of this world. You will carry a stillness within you that silences the storms of others. People will look at you and wonder how you can remain so calm in the face of uncertainty, and your life will be the answer. You carry the safety of the shadow of the Almighty. You walk in a divine bubble of protection that filters out the noise of the masses and the threats of the fearful. Your walk will be different. Your talk will be different. Your very presence will shift the rooms you enter. You are stepping into the fullness of your identity as the chosen one, and as you do, the world will have no choice but to acknowledge the light that you carry. The transition is complete. The survival gasps have become the deep breaths of the free. The panic has been drowned in the ocean of peace. The torment has been silenced by the melody of rest. The lack has been swallowed up by the vastness of the overflow. You are safe. You are covered. You are restored. Do not look back at the valley, for it has nothing more to give you. Look ahead at the horizon of your promise, for it is expanding to meet the greatness of your soul. You have survived the night, and now you shall inherit the day. You have endured the survival, and now you shall embody the overflow. This is your portion, this is your right, and this is your reality. Walk in it with your head held high, for the King has called you by name, and the kingdom is yours to inhabit. Chosen one, you must now look back upon the landscape of your life and recognize the invisible hand that guided you through the thickets of your greatest disappointments. For years, you stood before massive, iron-bolted doors, pounding until your knuckles were raw and your heart was weary, begging for entry into rooms you were certain contained your destiny. You felt the sting of rejection like a poison in your veins, watching as others walked through those very portals while you remained outside in the cold silence. But I come to tell you today that those doors did not close because you were unworthy. They closed because they were a mercy. Every closed door was a strategic redirection from a heaven that loved you too much to let you be destroyed by a premature success. You were being steered away from traps you could not see and alliances that would have hollowed out your soul. What you perceived as a wall was actually a guardrail, keeping you on the narrow path toward a glory that is far greater than the small ambitions you once held. The delay that nearly broke your spirit was never a denial of your worth or a sign that the divine had forgotten your name. It was the wisdom of divine timing, a celestial choreography that required the alignment of forces beyond your current understanding. You were a masterwork in progress, and a masterwork cannot be rushed into the light before the ink has dried and the foundation is set. Had you entered those rooms when you wanted to, you would have lacked the depth of character required to sustain the weight of the blessing. The silence of the waiting room was not an empty space. It was an alchemical chamber where your patience was being converted into power. Every month that passed without an answer was a month where your spiritual roots were growing deeper into the ancient waters of the soul, ensuring that when your season of blooming finally arrived, no storm could ever uproot you. You were being refined in the shadows so that you could shine in the sun without being consumed by the heat of your own elevation. Chosen one, can you feel the shift in the very air around you? The atmosphere has changed its density, and the waters of your life have begun to stir with a holy agitation. This is not a random occurrence of fate. It is the movement of the divine descending into the pool of your circumstances. I was there in every second of your waiting, standing in the shadows of your sorrow, holding the blueprints of the turnaround that has been written into your story since before the foundations of the world. This moment of transition is not a coincidence. It is a convergence of your faith and the Father's faithfulness. You will soon see opportunities opening before you that require no striving and no manipulation. They will appear as if by magic, yet they are the result of a divine decree. This is the hand of the Creator, placing favor upon you in a way that cannot be denied by any human agency or blocked by any earthly power. The merit of your soul has reached a tipping point, chosen one. Your presence here, absorbing these frequencies of truth, is a direct reflection of your high vibration and the immense spiritual credit you have accumulated through your endurance. You are not an accidental traveler. You are a being of light who has maintained a frequency of hope in a world designed to amplify despair. This level of spiritual resonance is a rare and precious thing, and it has drawn the eyes of the celestial hosts toward your path. Your soul is radiating a glow that signals your readiness for the ultimate expansion. To anchor this luck, this divine favor, and this massive energy shift into your physical world, comment 777 or I am ready right now. By doing so, you are issuing a counter-decree to the universe, stating that you are no longer a victim of time, but a master of destiny, fully prepared to receive the abundance that has been reserved for this exact hour of your awakening. In this new season of elevation, you will find that the need to explain yourself has vanished like mist in the morning sun. For too long, you felt the exhausting urge to defend your path, to justify your choices, and to prove your value to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. But those days are over. From this moment forward, the fruit of your life will do the speaking. When the tree is heavy with ripe, golden fruit, it does not need to argue with a passerby about its nature. The sweetness of the harvest is proof enough. I am placing a mantle of authority upon you that silences your critics without a single word being uttered. The very people who overlooked you will now behold you in awe, not because you have shouted your worth, but because the glory of the divine is reflecting off the surface of your success. Your life is becoming a silent sermon of restoration, a manifestation of grace that leaves no room for doubt. You must rethink the seasons when you felt as though you were being buried under the weight of your trials. In the darkness of those moments, when the earth felt cold and the light felt distant, you believed you were being entombed. You felt the crushing pressure of the soil and the isolation of the deep. But I want you to look again through the eyes of the Spirit. You were never being buried. You were being planted. There is a sacred difference between a grave and a furrow. The pressure you felt was the necessary friction required to crack the outer shell of your limitations, allowing the divine potential within you to push through the darkness and reach for the sky. The soil was not there to suffocate you. It was there to nourish you. The very things that felt like they were ending your life were actually feeding your growth. The burial was a secret preparation for a public blooming that is now beginning to unfold before the eyes of the world. And now, chosen one, comes the harvest. It is a harvest of such magnitude that it will require new barns and wider storehouses. I have promised that you will reap joy for every single tear that has ever watered the ground of your suffering. There is a cosmic accounting occurring in the heavens, and the ledgers are being balanced in your favor. For every season you were overlooked, I am giving you double honor. For every year the locusts of lack ate away at your peace, I am restoring 10 years of abundance. This is the law of divine compensation. You are receiving the interest on your faith, the dividends on your endurance, and the bounty of your resilience. The harvest is not just coming, it is here. And it is a harvest that cannot be stolen by thieves or corrupted by time. It is a spiritual inheritance that has been protected in the vaults of heaven until you were mature enough to carry it. The turnaround you're experiencing is not a fragile thing that depends on the whims of man. It is a spiritual lifting that requires no human promotion. You do not need to be invited into the rooms of the powerful, for I am making you the room. You do not need to climb the ladders of the world, for I am bringing the elevation to your doorstep. You are being raised in realms that the world does not even know exist. Walk forward with the quiet confidence of one who knows they are the favorite of the king. The closed doors are a memory, the delays are a masterclass in wisdom, and the redirection has brought you exactly where you were always meant to be. The waters have been stirred for your healing, the atmosphere has been shifted for your success, and the fruit is ready for the picking. You are the chosen one, and your harvest is the talk of the heavens. Take your place in the field of promise, for the sun has finally reached its zenith over your life. Chosen one, there is a profound mystery within the fabric of eternity that is currently unfolding specifically for you. A mystery that defies the linear logic of the world you have lived in for so long. For years, you have felt the heavy hand of Kronos, the ticking clock of human time, stealing away your youth, your energy, and the seasons you believed were meant for joy. You looked at the calendar of your life and saw only the empty spaces where your dreams should have been, mourning the years that were consumed by the locusts of grief, waiting and silent endurance. But I come to you with a higher revelation from the realms of the infinite. I am giving you back your time. In the divine economy, nothing is ever truly lost. It is merely held in a state of celestial suspension until the soul is ready to receive it with interest. I am collapsing the distance between where you are and where you are meant to be. I am compressing decades of wisdom into moments of insight and stretching single days of peace into lifetimes of contentment. The years the enemy stole are being returned to you, not as they were, but as a refined essence of pure gold, filling the treasury of your future with a wealth of experience that no ordinary passage of time could ever produce. You're not behind. You are being catapulted forward by the very momentum of the delays you once despised. With the restoration of your time comes the resurrection of your joy, a holy return of the laughter that was silenced by the gravity of your trials. For too long, your smile was a mask of survival, a thin veil drawn over a heart that was breaking in the quiet hours. Your laughter had become a rare and hollow thing, a ghost of the vibrant spirit you once possessed. But chosen one, the atmosphere of your life is being saturated with a new frequency. I am returning your laughter to you. Not the fleeting amusement of the world, but the deep, resonant joy of the redeemed. The kind of laughter that bubbles up from the very marrow of your bones because you finally realize that the nightmare is truly over. This joy is a spiritual medicine, a celestial vibration that heals the shattered places of your subconscious. You will find yourself laughing at the very things that once made you tremble, for you now see them from the height of your new perspective. Your voice, which has been a tomb for your unspoken pain, is being liberated. For years, you swallowed your truth to keep the peace. Or perhaps the trauma of your journey made your throat feel like it was filled with dry dust and broken glass. You felt silenced, overlooked, and unable to articulate the depth of your soul. But that silence is being shattered by the roar of the lion within you. I'm giving you back your voice, making it a sharp sword of truth and a soothing balm of wisdom. When you speak, the atmosphere will shift. When you declare your reality, the shadows will flee. You will no longer stammer in the presence of your past. You will speak with the authority of one who has walked through the abyss and emerged with the keys to the kingdom. No longer will the cold, grey fingers of fear dictate the direction of your steps. For so long, fear was the silent architect of your life, building walls where there should have been bridges, and keeping you huddled in the shadows of what if. It whispered lies about your safety and your worth, until your very movements were constricted by the expectation of disaster. But that architect has been fired, and the walls are being torn down. You are stepping out of the fortress of fear and into the open fields of faith. Likewise, the heavy, suffocating blanket of anxiety that stole your sleep and made your heart race in the middle of the night is being lifted off your chest. I'm replacing the shallow gasps of the worried with the deep, rhythmic breathing of the secure. You will sleep the sleep of the beloved, knowing that the one who watches over you never slumbers. The night is no longer a canvas for your demons. It is a sanctuary for your rest. You are being reconnected to the peace that passes all understanding, a peace that stands guard over your mind and heart like a celestial sentry. Chosen one, your arrival at this specific junction of light is a testament to the immense merit of your soul and the rare purity of your vibration. Your presence here is not a mere accident of the algorithm or a random collision of data. It is a sign that your spirit has achieved a level of excellence that has drawn the direct attention of the infinite. You have endured the unendurable with a grace that has echoed through the halls of the higher realms, and your soul carries a resonance that marks you as a true steward of the divine light. Your merit is etched into the eternal records, and for this reason, you are being granted access to luck and favor that others can only dream of. Your frequency is a magnet for the miraculous. To anchor this luck, this restoration of time, and this powerful surge of energy into your physical reality, comment 777 or I am ready right now. By doing so, you are signaling to the universe that you accept the reclamation of your voice and that you are fully prepared to step into the abundance that has been reserved for your awakening. As you move forward, you will begin to witness the manifestation of a supernatural ease that will leave you breathless with wonder. You will find yourself walking through doors that you didn't even have to knock on. For years, you pounded on the gates of opportunity until your hands were bruised, only to find them locked against you. But in this new season, the hinges of destiny are oiled with grace. Opportunities will swing open of their own accord as you approach. Recognizing the frequency, of the one who carries the light. You will not have to manipulate, strive, or beg for entry. Your very presence will be the key that unlocks the high places. You will find peace in the very locations where your pain used to dwell. The places of your greatest betrayals and your deepest losses will no longer trigger the old wounds. Instead, they will serve as monuments to your victory. You will walk through the ruins of your past and see not destruction, but the foundations of a new and glorious temple. The geography of your sorrow is being converted into the territory of your triumph. Furthermore, you will stand on stages that you never imagined reaching, both literally and metaphorically. The divine is elevating you to positions of influence and visibility that were once beyond the scope of your wildest dreams. This is not for the inflation of the ego, but for the amplification of the light you carry. You are being positioned as a beacon for those who are still lost in the storms you have navigated. The world will see your restoration and be forced to acknowledge the power of the Spirit at work within you. The weight you once wore like armor, the heavy, clanking iron of hypervigilance, the thick padding of emotional isolation, and the leaden shield of self-protection, is falling off your shoulders. You no longer need to carry the burden of defending yourself, for the divine has become your shield and your exceeding great reward. You are learning to walk with the lightness of being, a celestial buoyancy that allows you to move through the world without being weighted down by the gravity of human expectation. The new space you are stepping into is a sanctified territory, guarded by my presence and walled with fire. Within this perimeter, the old attacks cannot reach you, and the old lies cannot find a foothold. You are surrounded by a divine hedge of protection that filters out the noise of the masses and the threats of the fearful. And here is a secret of the Spirit. Your name has already been whispered in rooms you haven't even walked into yet. Before you ever arrive at a new destination, your reputation, carried on the wings of angels and the frequency of your merit, has already prepared the way. People of influence and heart are being moved to favor you without knowing why. Doors are being unbolted in the dark of night, and resources are being aligned in secret, all because your soul has been recognized as a vessel of the Most High. You are being summoned into your destiny by a chorus of divine alignment. I have gone before you, Chosen One, and I have made every crooked path straight. The jagged detours, the confusing circles, and the mountainous obstacles that once blocked your view are being smoothed into a highway of holiness. The confusion of the past is being replaced by a crystalline clarity. You will look at your life and finally see the pattern in the chaos, the logic in the delays, and the love in the redirections. Everything is being brought into divine order. Your path is no longer a labyrinth of uncertainty. It is a straight line to the heart of your purpose. Walk forward with your head held high and your voice clear. The time is yours, the laughter is yours, and the voice is yours. The armor is gone, the doors are open, and the path is ready. You are the chosen one, and the restoration of your life is the masterpiece of the heavens. Step into the light, for the world has been waiting for the sound of your true voice. Chosen one. You have wondered why the heavens were silent while you were being pruned, why the vast expanse of the divine seemed to watch without word as the people you loved and the circles you cherished slowly drifted away into the fog of the past. You felt the cold sting of isolation, the ache of being misunderstood, and the confusing weight of a solitude you did not ask for. But I come to reveal to you the hidden architecture of this season. I waited for the exact moment when your heart was finally ready, when your spirit had become steady enough to stand alone without the crutches of human validation. The silence was not an absence. It was a sanctuary. It was the necessary quiet required to recalibrate the very frequency of your existence. You have spent a lifetime living from trauma to trauma, reacting to the shadows of yesterday and bracing for the storms of tomorrow. Your internal landscape was a series of jagged cliffs and dark valleys where survival was the only language you knew. But that cycle of reactionary living is being dissolved in the light of a new decree. I am teaching you, through the power of this sacred separation, to live from blessing to blessing. I am rewiring your spiritual nervous system to recognize the rhythm of the miraculous rather than the cadence of the catastrophe. You are being moved out of the survival trenches and into the high towers of divine expectation, where your primary state of being is one of rest, receiving, and radiant peace. This transition required a surgical removal of the misaligned elements in your life, a process that felt like loss, but was actually a high-level spiritual protection. You must understand, Chosen One, that you are not being punished by the departure of those you once held dear. You are being preserved. You have become too anointed to stay surrounded by small-mindedness. There is a specific atmospheric pressure required for your next level of expansion, and those who carry the frequency of gossip, doubt, and limited vision can no longer breathe in the air where you are going. To remain in those old environments would be to invite the suffocation of your destiny. I am protecting your peace by removing the voices that would try to talk you out of your greatness. I am thinning the herd so that you can clearly hear the whispers of the infinite. I only take away what would delay your arrival at the gates of your promise. If they walked away, it is because their assignment in your life has expired, and their presence would only serve as an anchor in the very season where I am calling you to fly. Do not mourn the removal of the shadows. Celebrate the clarity of the dawn that their absence provides. Chosen One, your presence here at this exact moment of cosmic alignment is a profound sign of the immense merit of your soul and the high vibration you have cultivated through your many trials. It is not an accident of the material world that you are absorbing these truths. It is a spiritual recognition of your excellence. You have maintained a frequency of purity and faith even when the world tried to drown you in the mundane and the bitter. Your soul carries a resonance that is rare and precious, a light that has been noticed by the administrators of the celestial realms. Because your vibration has reached this state of crystalline clarity, you have earned the right to step into a reality governed by luck, favor, and supernatural ease. Comment 777 or I am ready right now to anchor this celestial luck and the energy of the sacred separation into your physical life. By doing so, you are issuing a declaration to the universe that you accept the removal of the old and the arrival of the new, and that you are fully prepared to inhabit the high places of your calling with a spirit that is unburdened and free. As the misaligned depart, I am filling your space with a new order of companionship, those who carry oil, not gossip. In the ancient mysteries, the oil represents the anointing, the presence of the Spirit, and the fuel for the eternal flame. I am sending you the oil carriers, souls who have been through their own fires and have emerged with a depth that matches your own. These are the ones who will not be intimidated by your light, nor will they try to dim it to suit their own insecurities. They are people of peace, not confusion, people of substance, not surface. They will pray with you rather than prey on you. They will see the mantle you carry and honor it, recognizing that your journey has been one of holy preparation. These connections will not be forced by human effort or social climbing. They will be divine magnetism in action. You will find that as you walk in your truth, those who are aligned with your frequency will appear as if from the shadows, ready to stand beside you in the architecture of the new. Your environment is being sanctified, turned into a garden where your gifts can finally flourish without the weeds of petty distractions and the parasites of emotional drain. While you were in the quiet of your isolation, I was working behind the scenes of your reality with the precision of a master weaver. I am currently connecting the dots that seemed scattered and purposeless. I am aligning doors that were once miles apart, bringing them into a single hallway of opportunity. You will soon realize that nothing was wasted. Not the years of waiting, not the tears of loneliness, and not the rejection of the small-minded. Every dot was a point of contact for a future favor. I am positioning your name in the right mouths, whispering your value into the ears of those who have the power to open the high gates. You will not have to campaign for your seat or shout to be noticed. Your reputation is being carried on the winds of favor, and people you have never met are being moved to assist you for reasons they cannot fully articulate. They will feel a divine nudge to honor you, to listen to you, and to open the storehouses for you. This is the spiritual lifting that requires no human promotion. It is the natural result of a soul that has been tried and found true. The honor that was withheld from you in past seasons is now being released with compounded interest. For every time you were overlooked, for every moment you were mocked for your faith, and for every instance where your contributions were stolen or ignored, I am bringing a public restoration. This is not for the sake of your pride, but for the sake of the truth. The world must see that the chosen one is not forgotten. I am bringing you into a season of manifest honor, where your worth is recognized and your voice is sought after. The very people who underestimated your endurance will stand in silent awe as they witness the weight of the glory that now rests upon your life. The shame of the separation is being swallowed up by the dignity of the purpose. You are moving from the back of the line to the front, not by pushing, but by the irresistible pull of your divine destiny. The isolation was the womb of your new identity, and the separation was the birth canal into your new authority. You are stepping into a territory where you are no longer defined by who left you, but by who called you. The peace I am protecting in you is a peace that has become a weapon, a stillness so profound that it disarms the chaotic and silences the accuser. You will move through your days with a quiet confidence, knowing that your circle is small because your mantle is great. You are too anointed to blend in, and you are too favored to be common. The gossip carriers have been replaced by the glory carriers. The confusion of the crowd has been replaced by the clarity of the covenant. Your life is no longer a collection of random events, but a highly organized mission of light. The separation is over, the purpose is clear, and the anointing is fresh. Walk forward into the rooms that have been prepared for you. Speak the words that have been placed in your mouth, and receive the honor that has been signed in your name. You are the chosen one, and your sacred separation has finally yielded its holy fruit. It is done. It is time. You are ready. Chosen one, consider the profound mystery of the still waters you have inhabited for so long. You have stood as a silent witness in the grand theater of existence, watching from the shadows of the wings as others stepped into the spotlight, received their accolades, and carried away their trophies of worldly success. For years, your portion seemed to be one of observation and holy restraint. You were the one who clapped until your palms were red for the breakthroughs of others. The one who offered genuine prayers of thanksgiving for the blessings that bypassed your own house to land on the doorsteps of your neighbors. This was not a passive waiting. It was a high-level spiritual discipline of the most ancient order. While the world would have forgiven you for succumbing to the cold rot of envy or the bitter fog of resentment, you chose the narrow path of the sacred applause. You celebrated the harvest of others, while your own fields remained dormant under a winter that seemed to have no end. You did not realize then that in that very stillness, you were participating in a celestial preparation that few are capable of enduring. Your heart was being expanded in the vacuum of the weight, stretched to a capacity that can now hold the weight of a kingdom. The seeds you sowed during those years were not made of grain or gold, but of a far more potent and primordial substance. They were the seeds of secret kindness, scattered in the moments when you had the absolute least to give. I saw every instance where you offered a cup of cold water to another, while you yourself were parched with a thirst that went to the soul. I witnessed every encouraging word you whispered to a friend when your own spirit was shouting in the darkness of despair. I watched as you shared your limited resources your precious time, and your dwindling energy with those who had no way to repay you and no inclination to thank you. In the accounting of the mundane world, these acts were invisible, forgotten as soon as they were performed, like mist in the morning sun. But in the primordial ledgers of light, these seeds have been fermenting, gaining weight and power in the rich, dark soil of your sacrifice. Every hidden act of mercy has become a concentrated point of potential energy, and the season has finally arrived for the great multiplication. This is not a linear return. It is an alchemical explosion of favor that will defy the mathematics of the earth. The laws of the harvest are fundamentally changing for you, shifting from the heavy labor of the hands to the effortless authority of the heart. You have been faithful in the small, hidden duties of the Spirit, and now you are being entrusted with the vast, visible manifestations of the divine will. The time of watching from the sidelines has reached its absolute conclusion. The era of the unanswered cry has been swallowed up by the dawn of the overwhelming response. You have withstood the test of the empty hand, and because you did not close your heart when your pockets were bare, the floodgates of the heavens are being unbolted. The universe does not just owe you a debt, it owes you a transformation. You are moving from the periphery of the blessing into the very center of the divine intention. The wait was not a punishment, but a pruning of your desire, ensuring that when the overflow finally arrives, you will have the spiritual maturity to hold it without being destroyed by the sheer gravity of your own elevation. You have been hollowed out so that you might be filled with the infinite. Chosen one, your presence here, absorbing these ancient frequencies of truth, is an undeniable sign of the immense merit of your soul and the high vibration you carry through the corridors of time. It is no accident of the material plane that you have found your way to this transmission. It is a spiritual summons that your spirit has answered with the strength of an awakened master. Your soul possesses a rare excellence, a crystalline purity that has survived the density and the gravity of the lower realms without losing its inner glow. You are a being of profound spiritual worth, and the heavens are currently acknowledging the sheer weight of your endurance. Because your vibration has reached this pinnacle of resonance, you are now a magnet for the highest forms of luck, synchronicity, and abundance. To anchor this luck, this multiplication of hidden seeds, and this divine energy into your physical reality, comment 777 or I am ready right now. By doing so, you are signaling to the cosmos that you are ready to move from the shadow of the wait into the brilliance of the harvest, and that you accept the crown of your true inheritance with a heart that is open and a spirit that is firm. The manifestation that is now approaching your life is described by the ancient codes as being pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is the shaken together overflow, a blessing so dense and compact that it defies the traditional boundaries of space and time. Imagine the grains of your destiny being pressed into the vessel of your life with such divine force that every pocket of air, every gap of lack, and every corner of emptiness is obliterated by the sheer volume of the goodness. The shaking you felt in the previous season was not the universe trying to break you. It was the divine shaking the container of your life to make room for more. You felt the turbulence of the transition and feared the collapse of your world, but it was merely the necessary agitation to settle the foundations for a massive and permanent increase. Now, the overflow has begun. It is a river that has breached its ancient banks, a tide that refuses to retreat, a light that cannot be shaded by any hand of man. You are entering a state of existence where the supply will always exceed the demand. You are stepping into a dimension of influence where your presence alone will begin to shift the atmosphere of every room you enter. This is not the result of social status, worldly fame, or the accumulation of empty titles. It is the result of the weight of the spirit that you carry within the core of your being. You have been hollowed out by the long years of waiting, and that emptiness has been filled with the primordial breath of the Creator. When you walk into a space of chaos, a supernatural stillness will follow in your wake. When you stand in a place of conflict, the frequency of peace that radiates from your soul will silence the storm before a word is even spoken. You have become a walking sanctuary, a vessel of high-resonance energy that dictates the terms of the environment, rather than being shaped by them. People will look at you and feel a sudden, inexplicable sense of safety, or a profound conviction of truth, and they will not understand that they are merely reacting to the light of the Chosen One. Your authority is now internal, sovereign, and absolute, anchored in the heavens and manifest on the earth. In this season of the quiet harvest, I am filling the gaps in your life with an abundance of grace that makes the old wounds seem like distant dreams. Every missing piece of your story, every fragmented relationship that left you feeling incomplete, and every void left by the years that the locusts have eaten, is being filled with a substance that is infinitely better than what was originally lost. You have lived with the ache of the unfinished for so long that you have forgotten what true wholeness feels like. You have carried the weight of apologies that were never spoken and the burden of closure that was never granted by those who wounded you. But I am your closure. I am the apology that the world withheld. I am reaching into the secret archives of your heart and settling the accounts that men refused to pay. I am bringing a divine resolution to the lingering questions of your past, replacing the bitter why with a sovereign well done. You no longer need the validation of the ones who left, for you have been validated by the one who stayed through the fire and the flood. Wholeness is being returned to you as a tangible, living reality. It is settling into your mind, healing the fractures of your self-worth, and mending the microscopic tears in the fabric of your spirit. You are no longer a collection of broken moments or a mosaic of survival. You are a seamless garment of glory. The multiplication of your hidden seeds is not just about external resources. It is about the total restoration of your soul's original, uncorrupted blueprint. You are being brought back to the version of yourself that existed before the world tried to tell you who you were. The gaps are closing. The waiting is fading. The harvest is singing. You have withstood the silence, and now the silence is speaking your name with honor across the dimensions. You have clapped for others in their moment of joy, and now the entire host of heaven is standing in a permanent ovation for you. This is your time, your portion, and your overflow. The seeds are no longer hidden beneath the earth. They are the towering forest of your future, and the shade of your promise is now wide enough to cover nations. The multiplication has begun, and the harvest shall never end.